Hello, and welcome to episode 50 of the Noonas podcast. Now, the last time I have done any one of these, you guys heard me going all hype, saying all kinds of crazy nonsense. This time, I would take a much more subtle approach and congratulate Jenny and Jenny on 50 episodes of this Noonas podcast. I've watched them grow. I've watched them get better and better. I've watched them gain more guests and gain more interest and gain more traction on their shows. I watched them join networks and then I watched them make a network of their own by networking. Ha ha ha, look at the word network. But speaking truthfully from the heart, I'm proud of them. I hope that any listener who's listening from episode one or caught them in the middle or just caught the last episode say, hey, I like these girls. I hope that all of you are proud of them too, and I hope that you guys enjoy episode 50 and beyond. Having said all that,
oh shit! It's the Noonas podcast, episode 50. You know it's about to go down. You know I'm about to talk about all kinds of amazing shit. The best, the best, the best, the best of them. Not the Foo Fighters, they're simply the best. And I'm not talking about Tina Turner. I'm talking about Jenny and Jenny, the Noonas podcast, episode 50, motherfucker.
Okay, maybe I went too far this time.
Dual set. Noonas podcast, Noonas podcast with Jenny and Jenny. This is the Noonas podcast with Jenny and Jenny.
Dual set. Heart to heart. Noonas podcast입니다. Welcome back to the 50th episode of the Noonas podcast. As always, we did it. As always with your hosts Jenny and Ginny.
Hello, good morning. Because we were recording in the morning time.
Yeah, so we're recording in the morning because I have to go do things today. So we're recording kind of early today in the morning, but that's okay because we're playing a little bit of catch up yet again. But I guess that's a good thing for us. But yeah, we made it to 50 episodes, Ginny. Woo!
No, like reach out across the finish line, and then like this is only just the beginning.
I know. It feels like it, but I know it's a big accomplishment for us, especially just like us, just doing our own thing basically, because it's just kind of a little indie K-pop review podcast, and we're just doing our own thing here. So hey, 50 episodes is nothing to sneeze at. So pretty proud of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're back. Better late than never, as they're saying, because they still have to upload episode 49, which is coming. I swear it's coming. It'll be up obviously before episode 50 here drops. But as the time we're recording this, I haven't put it up yet, but it's coming up very soon. Therefore, why I keep saying we're coming back better late than never. But because of that, we definitely have a lot to cover today, including what I think has to be hands down one of the biggest scandals to hit a debut group
this year, maybe. Yeah, well, this year.
At least this year, in a while, I should say, but at least this year. And that is in regards to the accusations when going around one of the members of Sserafim, and just the back and forth. We'll go through the whole thing today because it's kind of finally calming down a little bit, although I feel like they just kind of reignited the fuel to the fire a little bit with the statement they just made here a couple days ago. But we'll kind of dig into that today. And then on top of that, we do have 7 albums we are talking about today. Everything, we have a new album, the first mini album from Hyo from Girls' Generation. This is actually her first mini album, although I feel like it's more of an amalgamation of like all of her like very popular singles.
Her singles, yeah.
As well as 2 new tracks that she has released. So it's kind of a nice like kind of compilation of all of her current solo work that she's done outside of Girls' Generation. as the rumor has it, that Girls' Generation's coming back.
Yes. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, they confirmed
Yeah.
that they'll be coming back on August.
Yeah, we're having another major second generation group coming back in August. It's going to be a summer second generation, I feel like, this year,
Like
and I'm here for it.
Like, second gen this year.
I'm here for it. I feel like it started with Shiny last year, and we're just continuing on this year, and I'm here for it. So
yeah, and new K-pop, you should really learn today about like these legends.
Yeah. The old stands are I think are living, and the new stands are getting educated. So, but also on top of that, we do have a new album from Astro, their newest album. I think this is their third full album, actually. That they just released, Drive to the Starry Road. We also have a debut this week, and this has been the highly anticipated debut coming out of P Nation, the label created by Psy himself. This is the group TNX with their debut EP, Way Up. We also have a new mini album from OneUs named Trickster, which I'm interested to see what you think about this one when we get to it, Jenny.
Yeah.
We have a new one, a highly anticipated album coming from Got7, who have officially made their debut as independent artists, now officially away from JYP.
It's like a re-debut.
It is. Yeah, kind of like a re-debut for them now with their new freedom that they have with basically the self-titled EP Got7. We have a brand new full album from Kang Daniel called The Story. And we have a brand new full album. I think this is 17's fourth full album, actually, with Face the Sun. And yeah, we got a full episode today.
I know. I was like, when I was like listening, or when I was like trying to go through the albums, and then I realized, oh my gosh, there's no mini albums here.
I know, there's so many full albums. Like I said, I think everyone was dropping stuff before BTS.
I guess.
Next week. Or not next week, but next month, early next month. So,
but there's going to be some comebacks that, will be happening in June too. Yeah. So, at least they're not scared. They're not scared of BTS.
Yeah. We're not scared of BTS. Yeah, we do have a few. We have a few comebacks before BTS, because I know like coming up, I think like next week we have like the repackage from NCT Dream. I know Viction's got to come back, which I'm looking forward to. And then I think like coming out in June too, besides BTS, there's a few other comebacks happening. I think I heard Kepler is having a comeback back in June, because Mnet is
Kepler,
not scary.
I think Luna, we haven't like really delved into like Queendom, so he's like, well, I don't know. Well, like, did you like keep up with the show, or like also, who's winning right now, or what?
Yeah. Also, out of Queendom, I know Kepler apparently is not doing well.
Really?
Supposedly.
I heard Brave Girls are not doing
Brave Girls apparently did well the last round. Like because I know apparently they were threatened with elimination, but they did really, really well in round 3. I know we haven't reviewed. We were teasing about reviewing Queendom season 2, but I just haven't had a chance to watch Queendom. I've been kind of watching the rumors and the performances. I might have to binge, because I know the finale is actually this week, because it's kind of falling in line with Kingdom was, but. I just know there's been so much controversy with kind of like how things have been going and how things have fallen, like more so than I ever saw with Queendom season 1, as well as Road to Kingdom and Kingdom, even though we did have our fair share of controversy during Kingdom. But I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised like they still have like an elimination set with Queendom, since I don't think they had that with Kingdom.
I'm so confused, because like they've been threatening people with elimination, but I don't think they actually eliminated anybody. So I'm not 100% sure what was going on, as well as like they changed some of the rules, because like apparently like they had to rank a team higher than you and a team lower than you for like the self-evaluation, instead of like they did on Kingdom, where it was like, you give the top 3 teams points. Basically, like it was really confusing, like how Mnet decided to change the rules yet again. To make it more interesting, quote unquote. So I just know I think Hyolyn has not been doing well in the fan votes, because I don't think she's a lot of her individual fans like voting for her. It's been a lot of the group, so fans doing a lot of this stuff. So, but I know I think Brave Girls did really, really well. I think the fans really showed up in the last round, because they were kind of getting threatened with elimination. So
yeah,
the Brave Girls fans came out just in time too, because I know they just announced the world tour. So, like they're still out there. They're still out there, the Brave Girl fans. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Queendom 2 has just been a mess, honestly, more so than Kingdom was, and that's saying something. Honestly, that really is saying something, because y'all know how much of a wreck I was during Kingdom. And I actually had groups I cared about on that show, like wholeheartedly care about. I had like at least 2. Now I know. 3. But yeah. Oof. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to watch all that drama, because I just felt like again, I'm not just doing
like we're so tired.
Shit.
It's like we had enough.
It's like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
Speaking of Mingyu.
Yeah, so thinking of Mingyu. Yes, exactly. But I guess speaking of tired, let's get into this bullying allegation, because this has just been everywhere on the news cycle lately. If you are in any know in K-pop, like this has been everywhere. Like you cannot escape it. And it is, like I said, honestly, it's been one of the more, I don't know how to phrase it. It's been one of the more like interesting allegations, one of the more interesting scandals, one of the more, hard-hitting scandals to hit K-pop as of late, especially with the debut group. There's just a lot of like things that were mishandled in this situation that I feel like probably wouldn't have blown up to be this big of a thing if things were handled correctly in the first place, but they weren't.
Right, right. Because they've been like, I guess, warned, and like Hype didn't really like care about it. Just like nah, it's all just a defamation and all that.
Yeah, so let's get into it. And I don't know how to really TLDR this, because there's a lot. So I'm going to try to TLDR this a little bit, because there's a lot of information flying around on the internet with this. Yeah. There's multiple threads, multiple posts. If you go searching around online, you can find like more information about this, but I'm going to try to make this as succinct as possible and not as confusing, because there are a lot of people in here, a lot of players, a lot of people being accused and stuff. So basically it all comes into a head. Basically, it starts even before Le Sserafim's debut. So it all started with some accusations starting like in early April with member Kim Garam. So there were accusations being floated around on different forum sites saying that she was a bully in middle school, that she was just kind of a horrible person. Like she didn't greet people properly. Like if you didn't greet her properly, she would like bully you and message you on Facebook, and like especially her junior classmates, and just be like, why didn't you, and say really harsh language at them. That she would drink and smoke, hurl curse words, that kind of stuff. There was another post saying like, if one person saying like when she didn't answer her phone, that Kim Garam basically like was sending like really, really violent text messages to her until she picked up the phone. And another person said that a student was that Kim Garam had sent a student to the emergency room due to her actions, because it was just that violent. So at that point, Hybe and Source Music, since Source Music is technically the group is signed under, but Hybe is again the umbrella corporation. They released a statement saying that Garam herself was a victim of bullying in middle school, and that all these comments were basically intended to slander her. And they also threatened legal action, but because she's a minor, because Garam is only 16, and we had talked about this during our coverage of Le Sserafim's debut in our last episode, because there's a lot of minors in this group. They were being really, really cautious on this, and they were being really careful because they wanted to make sure that there wasn't any misinformation or defamation spread. Basically, they said that Garam was being bullied and that all these statements were false. So we fast forward. Le Sserafim makes their debut, and things are going on. Then things start bubbling to the surface around May 16th, because at that point, a post had surfaced on Pan, which is a forum website in Korea, kind of like Reddit, which a post surfaced, and it was a document that was posted. It was a notice of school violence committee results, and the name on the document was Kim Garam, year 1, class 3, as the perpetrator. And in that document is actually basically a legal document, because there are legal laws regarding school violence and school bullying, because bullying is such a huge issue in Korea that there are legal laws and like school violence committees and stuff to set aside to handle such issues in Korea, because it is such a prevalent issue currently.
That's always pretty cool that, in North America, we're kind of like lenient about this. Like, we do like talk about like school bullying, but not to the point where we have to like have like records of like,
right.
students' behavior like that. Like, here's like a legal document of like how you behaved at school.
But, like there's like legal documents, like they literally like rank the level of punishment like from level 1 to lowest to level 9 highest, depending on how bad it is, because there's been instances of violence, of just horrible actions taken against like students on students. So there are like different levels like that people will take depending on the severity of the situation. In every school, every situation is different, obviously, depending on the level and depending on how the school wants to investigate and handle the situation. So keep that in mind. At that point, the document, is basically used to kind of help take, action in the future if to help this, the victim potentially get, temporary protection, treatments, psychological counseling, change classes, anything to protect them. But then also at that point, a photo surfaced of the name of the middle school that was attached to the document. I'm not naming the middle school. That's not my right. But it served it was more proof, because it had a picture that looked like Kim Garam, and it had a picture of what looked like her wearing, clothing, because it was from a middle school retreat that she was in, class 1, year 1, class 3. So it kind of further connected her to the document at that point. At that point, Hybe source put out another statement saying nothing has changed from our agency's previous statement, that they just begun to take legal action, and details will be sorted out during the legal process. Fast forward a couple days later to May 19th. At this point, the victim of why the school violence committee report came out with a statement from her lawyers, because she actually went to lawyers and had to make a legal statement. Now, mind you, at this point, all the other accusations and stuff were made by third parties. It was not made by the victim. The victim stated that those were all third party accusations and stuff, but the actual committee report on school violence, she was the victim. And so she had to make a legal statement at that point through her lawyers. And at that point, I'm going to name her because there is a pseudonym for her. I will name her as Yoon So. So I'm going to call her Yoon So. So we have a name for you. So there's hopefully less less confusion in here, because there is a pseudonym for her. So at the point, Yoon So said she had transferred schools a week to 2 weeks after the incident because she was unable to withstand all the continuous group violence back in 2018. This all took place back in 2018. And that Garam was punished 6 hours of special education, as well as her Garam's parents were punished with an extra 5 as a result of the investigation. And so herself, she received counseling, but she transferred because she couldn't stand all the constant rumors saying that she was the one in the wrong, and that's why she was forced to transfer out of schools. And then that the harassment became worse once again after Hybe made the statement back in April stating that Garam was a victim. Because at that point, a lot of people were coming after her, saying that she had authored those original posts, which she said which obviously she did not at that point. Those were all third-party posts. They said that she authored those out of jealousy, and had uploaded all the real-life pictures and telling her to go dig her own grave. At that point, I guess I'm going to put a trigger warning on here because there's some darker things here. There's some mentions potential ending life in here, so potential trigger warning. At this point, and so was having a lot of panic attacks. She's having extreme fear and anxiety. as all the messages were in the bullying online were getting worse coming at her. So at that point, she asked HYBE and Source to recant their statement in April, asking her and to apologize to her, saying that Garam was a victim, because all she wanted was an apology and to recant their statement. That's all she asked for. She didn't ask for any monetary damage, nothing. She just wanted an apology and a recantment of the statement. HYBE and Source refused those demands at that point. At that point, Unso was considering pulling out of school and ending her life. So it was getting not good at that point.
And it's and it also just to like, you know, incorporate this, but also, you know, usually whenever some like an idol is accused of like some wrongdoing, right? Usually companies or labels would like automatically tell their idols to like write their apology on, you know, on their social media, just to save face and all that. Like, you don't specify like, yes, you know, we admit we did it. It could be like, you know, yeah, sorry, we're causing like this, you know, this trouble for you guys, and you know, hopefully, you know, deal with this quickly. But yeah, it's usually, you know, companies would tell their idols to apologize, or even though if they've done it or not. So, right. Yeah, like it's funny how HYBE couldn't like, you know, couldn't do the same thing. Like they could, like it could still, because this is like a, you know, an unprecedented thing for a company to still defend their, you know, their idol or their artist, which has never been done before, because usually they would like, you know, throw them out, you know, immediately, and not like, and then they would find out that, you know, they're actually innocent, and like, oh, it's already too late for them to kick them out. But yeah, there's some aspects of where I could commend HYBE and Source, like, okay, you know, it's good that you're still defending your, you know, like your artist right now, but they could have, you know, made them like apologize or like, you know, say a message and all that. So this could have been like, you know, balanced scales for them to deal with this the correct way.
I felt like it could have been handled better, because they could have put out an apology at that point. Like, she could have put a handwritten apology out at that point saying, I'm sorry for my actions if it led to Unso's, you know, pain and suffering at that point, or, you know, the pain she felt at that point. And I'm sorry for causing my fans strife. Like, she could have put that statement out. This could have been nipped in the bud, done. And, you know, it wouldn't have escalated to this point. But however, they decided not to do that. And HYBE and Source just stuck their foot in the mud and just were more adamant about saying, no, Garam was a victim and this person was, you know, bullying her. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So the lawyer team, basically in the statement, the lawyer team and her pointed out saying, if HYBE and Source did not come out and change its stance, that they were going to disclose their findings of the bullying, anything that was not included, as well as other victim statements, of other, you know, abuse that Garam had, as well as other, you know, text messages that she had apparently sent to Yoonso while the abuse was taking place. So they had evidence apparently against Garam. So at that point, HYBE comes back with a statement later on the 19th, stating that they were disappointed that the law firm had taken, quote, one-sided measures to release the statements to multiple media outlets regarding the situation. Because, again, these are involving minors, mind you. Because, again, Garam is 16. This person's still, you know, 16, 17 years old. They're still very much still minors. They reiterated the fact that they're still currently taking legal action themselves against the spread of false rumors, and they're still investigating the situation on their end. And they also released a reason why they haven't made an official statement is because the member, again, was a first year middle school, and they were all underage, so they're approaching this with caution. So they wanted to get all their facts straight before they released a, quote, official statement. So at that point, a day later on the 20th, it was announced Sserafim had canceled all their entire schedule for the whole day, which at that point was kind of wrapping up the end of their Fearless promotions. So they canceled their appearance on Music Bank that day, as well as a fan sign video call that day that they were going to have with their fans. And at that day, HYBE and Source put out a lengthy, and I mean lengthy, post, a statement. And I mean, this thing was a beast of a statement. I don't think I've ever seen our company like literally lay out like statement for statement. Like they literally were kind of like fighting back against the legal team of UNSO, and like literally like almost like bullet point by bullet point, like fighting against the statement. So what basically on Garam's side, so from what Source and Hybe are saying, was that Garam was the victim of UNSO herself, and that basically what happened is that the two were short friends for a while, and that basically started kind of coming to a head when they were at a middle school retreat in the beginning of the year, because UNSO started bad-mouthing Garam and some of Garam's friends. Supposedly at that point during the retreat, they apologized, but after that, UNSO went to some of her male friends, and her male friends went to Garam and her friends and threatened Garam and her friends with violence. At that point, Garam broke the friendship off completely after thinking that the friendship had been saved, but seeing that happened, she broke the friendship off completely. So later on into the school year, it's apparently was noted that UNSO had taken a picture of Garam's friend, who was only in her underwear at that time, and then had posted it on a social media website under another friend's page. And so at that point, 5 friends, including Garam, went to go approach UNSO. And at that point they kind of cursed and yelled at her for, why did she do this? And at that point she did admit wrongdoing, and she admitted she did what she did was wrong. But according to the statement from Hybe and Source, she was never punished for posting the picture online. At that point, UNSO went to the school officials saying that Garam and her friends bullied her. And that's what led to the document that we saw posted previously. However, before the committee had finished, UNSO was summoned to could be finished and wrapped up, she had transferred schools at that point, because there was talk about her having to do a forced transfer on behalf of the victim of the original photo. So basically, it sounded like she was trying to get out of being in trouble, so she was trying to get out, so she transferred schools. And so the committee's finding and punishments went to Garam and to another student of one of Garam's friends, and they're the ones who got punished for retaliating against UNSO. And then UNSO transferred back to closer to the area like a month or two later. And then there were other bullet points, and they're basically kind of negating everything that other malicious rumors that had spread, including her having hit people, getting into fights, bad-mouthing other artists, and her supposedly having left another agency after a rookie group had thrown her out, or a rookie group that was supposed to debut having thrown her out. They said that none of that was true. But in any case, Source and Hybe basically put Garam on hiatus mere 16 days into Les Sserafim's career, and basically to, quote, focus on healing her wounded heart. I am not kidding you. That is literally what they put in their statement, at least in the translated statement.
Could that be like on par with JYP's like statement? It's like, oh, we should have like checked our our artist better or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not going back to the whole Hunjin thing. But then at that point, it was also then brought it back up because they had to make a secondary statement at that point, because people were bringing up, okay, so why was so to remember, I talked about how there's different levels of punishment for these access school violence against people from level 1 to level 9. When this was determined, this case was a level 5, so it was kind of in the middle. But there was no talk of like any kind of physical violence. Usually levels 1 to 3 are like levels that like there's not a lot of physical violence. Anything higher than level 3, usually there's violence involved.
Yeah.
Like hitting or something.
Yeah, which is strange. That's because I don't think Hybe like really described or like didn't really line up with like did Garam really put physical violence in here? Because from what they said, there's nothing from on their case like that really went up to like that level.
Yeah. So a lot of people are coming back at Hybe and Source saying, okay, so why was it a level 5 if there was no violence? Because again, level 5s are just getting higher up on the level of like scale here of like for the punishment here and for the severity of how this bullying played out. Apparently, according again to Hybe, they said supposedly Garam's mother believed the school was making the right decision at the point, and that's why they did the higher level of punishment. It didn't appeal the decision at that point, but now apparently he's regretting it now because of all this talk and stuff. But she thought it was the best choice for her way to educate her daughter at that time for her actions. That's why she said it was fine to do a level 5 punishment at that point. So at that point, Garam is on hiatus. A lot of people asked for her to be out of the group, in which Hybe has now made a statement saying she is not out of the group. She's just merely on hiatus, which I think have incensed more people because of, again, just the severity of this whole bullying issue, just how severe it's been in Korea. And so it's just been very much a lot. And it's like I said, I don't think we're ever going to get the full details of what happened because, again, we're getting two different stories completely. One from Unso's team and one from Garam's team. And I don't think we're ever really going to get the full truth.
Yeah, and at this point, if they did find out that like Garam is actually like totally innocent, or she's like the one who came out like with the less severity, or like they people have already still made up their minds if they want Garam out, like the situation and how Hive like dealt with this is like really out of proportion. That I'm not I don't know how like people could still if Garam was back, like how they could still look at her.
Yeah,
like, they gotta like go on full redemption of like for Garam, like they gotta like go all out for this, like they gotta make her like be a good role model.
Yeah, she's gonna have to have like the biggest redemption arc ever in K-pop, ever in history, to get out of this. And I don't know if there's anything she could do to actually, I think, redeem herself. I don't know. It's really hard with all the accusations. And there's just like there's been further talks too about like other manipulation. Cause like while this was all going on, there was talks about how one of their music show wins, their music bank win from their May 13th win, which was early in their career, was coming under light because because Dispatch had done a little bit of research, because the artists they were competing against for the win that day on Music Bank on KBS, Lim Young Woon, who is an immensely popular solo artist, he's an immensely popular trot artist, has a fandom rivaling the size of ARMY. I am not kidding you guys. He has an immense fandom. There was a lot of, because he only lost to them by like 846 points. It was a very, very close loss on the points. But when you're looking at the score breakdowns, because they show the score breakdowns on screen, when they were showing the broadcast score, they were showing 0 points for him and like 5,000 points for Les Sserafim. And everyone was like, why does he have 0 points when he's been broadcast on radio? And Dispatch literally went through like all the radio like playlists through the week and like, excuse me, KBS, you played him 3 times on your radio stations through the week, therefore he should have points, and by our calculations he should have enough points to beat Les Sserafim for a win on the music shows, because he, again, is a very immensely successful artist. He's the first artist in like 20 years to sell over, first solo artist, excuse me, to sell over 1 million copies of his album. Like I said, he's immensely popular, in which KBS had to come back the next day and say, it's only certain radio stations apparently that qualify for the broadcast points on Music Bank. So, which just kind of fed fire to like 2 arguments that K-pop fans have had. One about the manipulation on music shows that companies might have for their artists, as well as the whole Les Sserafim, bad publicity that the whole group was getting at the point, mostly because of the whole Garam bullying scandal, but kind of just because they were kind of under a whole black light under that point. So yeah, it's been not a good debut time for Les Sserafim. I don't know. Like, I feel like the group might tank if they do keep Garam, because she does have such a dark cloud, and like they could do so much now. Like, I know they're super dead set on having 6 members,
Yeah, I know, because okay, you know how I said like the Seraphim is like based off like the six winged angel and all that.
Right.
Like if they do kick her out, if they do and then find her guilty, they could have like had to add another member or something. Like they could have like kept like the concept and all that, but just added another like replaced with another like someone who's like training.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
like for a girl group, so they can still have six.
Yeah, you can replace her with another member. Like, it's early enough in their careers. Like, you could replace her easily with another trainee at source. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I even heard like like a random thing. I just saw like I don't know how reliable this is, but Black Swan, right? Remember Black Swan?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently they're having two new members just to like replace from their like former members that got like left or got kicked out. Or, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if the other member
Yeah.
got kicked up from her like her case against Fatu, but yeah, they're like adding two new members. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of funny. Like, hey, if Black Swan could do that, why can't let's say do that?
Right, exactly. Why can't they do that? So especially like I said, they just debuted. It's like it's super early in their careers, and why would you want to tank the other 5 members? Especially why would you want to tank like Chaewon and Sakura's careers after the immense success they saw in as one? Like, why would you do that? That's so dumb. So it's a lot of frustration. I think this was so managed poorly. I think just from the original point of like the apology from Hybe, like they were so dead fast on just saying no, she was a victim. She's always been a victim. And they're just so dead fast.
They could have addressed it. Yeah, they could have addressed instead of she's a victim. Like they could have said we're gonna take this to court. We're gonna keep silent about it, and then yeah, I'm sorry about we're causing this much trouble, and then just like left it at that. But yeah, at this point, like a lot, this is not about just Hybe, but a lot of music labels in K-pop should start doing background checks for their idols. If they want any, like they gotta have like some kind of like program. Is like you gotta have a good record from your school, just so no one could like friggin' like call you out for bullying like years ago. But like they could have like. At this point, like we're like making like business, proposals for for K-pop. Is like they could have like had like references, like get like reference letters from like from your peers, from your school members or teachers,
right?
And you have like actually bring like your school record, like you see like if you were involved in some school violence, and at this point, and also if someone's gonna like accuse you for something that you haven't done. You probably need to like put in like save some like screenshots or like some proof so you could like handle this quickly. Like
right.
At this point K-pop should like really have some kind of like a shake up when it comes to like people getting bullied and just like do more background checks.
Yeah, they really should, because it was so bad last year when we had Bullygate, basically with all those accusations and multiple people going on hiatus, people having to actually leave groups because of it. The whole thing with April was so bad. Like this was kind of rivaling like the whole mess with April. I felt like because that was a mess, and that's actually going to court. Honestly, I haven't heard any updates regarding the whole mess with April. I just know that one is going to court.
I have another like example with the Jimin and also like Mina situation from AOA. At first, I have it. It's like you got to be careful. Like, okay, like it'd be best for you to like keep like a a neutral state, because you'll never know like if like the other parties like actually like the
right
the worst one, because like that was crazy, the one with Jimin and Mina. Like okay, Jimin's like the bully, and then like you're like oh like Mina has like some shady stuff in her at the back as well. So like well we could never know.
You really never do. And like honestly, then people can change. Like the whole thing with Hyunjin, it's like he might have been kind of somewhat involved a little bit, but it wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be.
And it was like a mutual argument, or it was like a mutual argument. Like he wasn't like a perpetrator and not going
right
after, like,
he was just kind of more like involved in like more like the peer pressure side of things, I feel like, honestly. but people were making out to be worse because I think just because he's famous, and like especially because like he's one of the faces of Stray Kids. So like they knew they could try to take the group down and take him down at the same time. But I guess there's still people who are out there who are like dead set about like Kunjin being a horrible person. And I don't see that at all, but that's just me. That's just me in my opinion. So, but, also, I just want to know, what do you think about the whole deflecting rumor of V and Jenny dating? Supposedly,
because there's like a lot of like. Okay, we got to go into that. Like, it's kind of funny because if we're going into like Garam's case and people are like believing that this is a way to deflect the like the situation involving Garam. First off, like why would Hybe and even YG like what would they even care about like throwing their artists under the bus? Like they're the renowned artists like with from Taehyung and Jenny. Like
right.
that it's like kind of a stupid move if that was the case for like those labels. And yeah, it's like okay, it's probably just like another party, like another outside party, just like maybe doing this. But yeah, it was just like okay, guys, like calm down. You can't like blame Hybe for that. It's probably like someone else who was trying to deflect the situation. Yeah. But it's kind of funny how, like with the with like going on and all that, and then yeah, and then how many people are like trying to like trying to like find proof like no, that was like actually Hobie, like y'all just Photoshop this and all that. But
oh my god. I know, like the people who were trying to forgot the whole photoshopping with Tae, like they were like thinking like Tae, I was like Taeyong from like, it was from like the beat, it was from like Life Goes On music video and stuff. It was getting crazy. It was ridiculous.
From their episode of like one of their shows, but at the same time, if it's actually all true, in my opinion, I wouldn't mind Taeyong and Jenny. It's like he's like what. I don't know, yeah, I like this. Like, I would like, no, don't like, don't like take this seriously. But I did, I shipped it.
Hey, I mean, Tae's got his famous friends. I mean, who knows? Who knows who else he hangs out with? So
yeah. People think that only like groups hang out with each other and that they don't like interact with other. Come on, guys.
Come on, you guys.
With,
really?
The fan wars and all that is just like, and. Yeah, so many people still gatekeeping. They still gatekeeping their idols and all that. Like, come on, guys, like let them live.
Not me perpetually shipping like the whole not shipping, but like perpetually, embracing the whole friendship between Tomorrow by Together, Stray Kids, and the ATs. Like they're all friends with one another, and it's quite awesome.
They all ship them together.
No, not in that way. No. No, they're all friends.
The relationship. No, I'm kidding.
Damn it. God damn it, Chitty.
No. I would be like, I was about to like add like a narrative, like, oh, what if like there was like an actual meet cute, because like how Taehyung accidentally followed Jenny on Instagram when he had this like on his account,
right?
Yeah, that was the origin. There was the origin.
There you go,
the origin.
Your move, everybody. I don't know. This is why the rumor.
If it's true, then I was like, yeah, I like this. Yeah. They're pretty cute.
Hey, I mean, well, didn't Jenny date Kai for a little bit?
Yeah.
And Kai knows Jimin and Tae are good friends. I see, it works.
It's all connected.
See, it works. Anyway, hi.
They're like the kind of like theory and all that.
Where's my word of like red twine anyway? See, this all works out in the end. But like I said, that was just funny. Like how that popped up too is like as a potential like trying to like deflect off the whole like bullying stuff, but it was just kind of funny.
For like for the company if they would actually do that.
Yeah, I don't know. People just want to find things to talk about and just kind of badmouth companies because the company stands and stuff, but. Anywho, let's get into these album reviews because we definitely got a few to get under our belt today. So let's get into our first one. And again, that is the artist, I guess the way she has, her stage name is Ho, but it's Kim Ho Young from Girls' Generation. And this is her first solo EP called Deep, with the title track Deep. Like I said, this is kind of an amalgamation of her previous solo works that she's kind of been releasing since 2018. She's kind of had some solo singles she's been dropping here and there. But she does have 2 new tracks on this one, including the title track Deep, which I forget how well like she does EDM. Like I love her EDM style.
Yeah, and also not to mention that she also does produce some of her songs and music as well.
Yes.
So this is a great way to like showcase her talents and like her skills as like both an artist and a music producer.
Yeah, she does DJ on the side. So she does do a little bit of EDM DJing and stuff. Because she does go by her stage name also as DJ Hyo as well, but she definitely has like a bit of a presence, like I think in the more Korean EDM field of things. So yeah, I mean, what did you think about Deep itself as a song, as the title track on this one is her first EP?
Well, nothing much like significant that really like changed my life in a way. But I really dug the music itself. It's it's a good conclusion. It's a good inclusion to like a lot of like noise music that they're doing in K-pop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a really fast beat that you can like play this in clubs.
Oh yeah, it's definitely clubby. It really gets you like it reminds me a lot of like her EDM reminds me a lot of like old school EDM. You know what I mean? Like the stuff from like the mid to late aughts, I think. Like just that style she has, it very much is reminiscent of that. Like the way the beats kind of play around and stuff, and then the bass drops happen, and not the bass drops, but just the drops happen, and the build up of stuff, and like the times I have like the breaks that you just want to get down and dance. So
that's pretty much what I thought about her other B-side, which I guess like technically this came out like before like the album was made. The track Badster, it really is reminiscent of like even early like or during the 90s of the rave scene, because that the music style really like goes hand in hand with like how rave music sounds.
Yeah, no, I agreed with that. Yeah, Badster really was very, very 90s-esque. Like it had this like very techno-y undertone to it. So it really felt like, yeah, very rave techno sound to it. I mean, a lot of her stuff is like just falls in like that EDM classification. Like, I mean, I will say I love Dessert, which she came out in 2020. That's one of my favorite my favorite solo tracks from her. Just which also features So Young of Idol as well as Loopy. And I like just the way that breaks down, and it just has a really catchy hook. From like the beginning when she's like naming all the different like dessert types, and then you know what I deserve, dessert.
Yeah.
Dessert. Like I love that breakdown.
Yeah, actually, I would like say that say with Dessert and as well as Deep, she really knows how to like make like her voice go into like the instrumental, because like she doesn't really do that much of like lyricism in the chorus, so to say, but she does like repeat the title or the word to make it like fit with the beat, like this dip 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 dip.
Yeah.
Like, it really it almost sounds like an instrument right itself. So I really, it's the same thing with with Dessert as well. Like she uses like her voice to make it like more of an instrument.
Yeah, it's like it's added on top of like the the drum loops and the beats and stuff. Like it's just another level to add to it. And it's kind of uniqueness like you don't see a lot, I think, in EDM, because obviously a lot of EDM you just see people just like superimposing like audio clips or just like snippets,
or edit samples with the voice.
They just do the samples, and she just actually manipulates her own voice into actually making it unique. So it's kind of a cool different take
towards it, like rapping and like actually singing it during the music.
Yeah, it's a new level of EDM. Like you don't see a lot, because again, you see people just using samples and not they're using their actual voices. So it's just kind of a nice, refreshing take on EDM, I think. Makes her unique in the field, I think. So. And plus, you don't see a lot of like pure EDM. You see a lot of EDM levels, obviously, in K-pop, but it feels like this is pure EDM. honestly. Anything else you liked? No, I was gonna say if there's anything else you liked off of this
Well,
this
I
EP.
already mentioned Bastard is probably my favorite track from the album. I really I would actually recommend like the whole album because it's not that long and there's just a few songs. And yeah, no, I really enjoy how it's very. No, I did really enjoy it sounds really fun and like her collaborations with other artists. It just makes it all the more cute, I guess, because like I think some of her tracks has like the more like it really calms down and has like a very cute like dreamy type of like pop music.
Yeah, I know because I really highly recommend. One of the other tracks I recommend is her track Second, which features BB, who I really like. BB, she's a really fun R&B hip hop artist who's really coming up in the field here. Really, they complement each other really well. In the EDM R&B styles. So like it's a really fun track, and that came out in 2021, I think, is when that came out. So, but yeah, this is like a really fun like kind of combination of all of her previous solo stuff, and yeah, I think it warrants a look. Like if you want some like pure EDM, I really highly recommend taking a look at this album because it is really a fun listen, and there's some really fun EDM drops in here. So it's a really good album. I enjoyed it. So, but with that, let's move on to our next album. I guess this also came out on 5/16, and this is Astro's third full album, and this is Drive to the Starry Road. And the title track off of this one is Candy Sugar Pop. Also to note, I think this is the last full album that member MJ is on because MJ also just enlisted in the military at the beginning of this month. So I believe he still got all of his stuff because his solo track is on this album. But while they're promoting and stuff, he is obviously not with them currently right now because he is currently enlisted, and actually he's actually with the military band. That's what he announced he was going to be doing in the military. So that is Astro's off and now starting their military enlistment as well as one of the third generation groups. As the third generation groups start to continue on with enlistment here. So, but I wanted to hear what you had to think because I know the last Astro album we reviewed last year, we weren't too keen on. Like it was just pretty okay. But I wanted to hear what you had to think about this one.
I didn't realize it was like last year. I thought like they released something more recent.
I think it was two of the members. I think it was Jinjin and Rocky. I think they did a duet like together, like a unit track together. I think.
Okay, but I don't really remember if I really.
I can't remember.
I think when it comes to like their title track, Candy Sugar Pop, I really dug like the very like Kate Renata, if you're familiar with the artist. Has a really like chill down tempo dance, and it has like a cool bass drive that really goes with the retro synth wave. So I really if you want to like something like want to play for the summer, that would be a good good song for you to like to play that in. It's really fun. It's like really also like dreamy and very like sweet, so to say.
Yeah, it definitely lives up to that like sweetness. Obviously, with the title "Candy Sugar Pop," like you would expect sweet, and it lives up to that immensely. But yeah, I really do dig the retro synth pop all over this track. Like they really embraced it well, and it's fun. It's fun. It's bubbly. It's very summertime. Like you can tell with this one, like we're starting to get into the summer albums. Like we're getting into the summer music, guys. I really dug this one. I think I dug this more than their last title track, honestly. I think I dug this more than I think, which was After Midnight. I think it's their last title track. And yeah, I really dug this. Like it really, really was fun and flirty and just it puts you in a good mood. Like I can understand why they have such a huge fandom, why Rojas are, so big and why they really, really love their boys. It's fun.
But other than that, I think like when they go to like their B tracks, I think it may not be like my personal taste with like a lot of the tracks here, but I do find a connection with the theme about like driving to the Starry Road because a lot of the songs has like a very like sentimental and almost like a dreamscape type of like ballad pop song. So while those music might not be my style of listening, I really could find a connection with a lot of their songs in there. So I really love the consistent and like the overall like summarization of like what they're trying to convey here with their album.
Yeah, like there's a lot of songs in here I feel like would be good for like a summer road trip. There's some sentimentality to it, but there's also like some summery like funness in here too. I feel like, especially with like their more like unit tracks when it's all 6 of them together, like something something. Which kind of continues on, I think, that brightness you see in Candy Sugar Pop. It just really kind of continues that thread throughout the album. Before you kind of get into something a little bit more slinky, I think like More, which I really dug. I think I really liked More a lot. I really like that bass line more. It really, really kind of was this nice grooving R&B bass line. And then I think this is their first album too that includes solo tracks. I don't think there's been I don't know, Ro has come at me if I'm incorrect here, but I think this is their first one that has solo tracks. So, and each one of them got a solo track on this album. So all 6 of them each got a solo. And it was kind of nice to see all 6 of them get to like express their unique color when it comes to their music. I really enjoyed, what each of them brought to the table. Because you can tell each one of them has their very distinct tone and their distinct style. And I think the ones I really, really liked the most out of the solos, I think I liked Story by MJ, which kind of had this more like soaring kind of, like what you said, like dreamscape. I really agree with that. It's really dreamscapey. I really liked First Love by Cha and Woo because I had this like bit of like gospel-y tone to it. You know what I mean? It like it doesn't really mean like I'm not like full on gospel, but like gospel elements to it. But it's like a really good road trip song, like when you put on like a summer road trip playlist.
Yeah, it's really super sentimental. Like it's sentimental in a way, like it gets you into like your emotions.
Yeah, like you're just staring out the car window, like as everything's flying by, like it has that sentimentality to it. And then as well as Let's Go Ride by Moobin, which is a really great, I think, more like seductive R&B song. So, but I think all of them are great. Honestly, all 6 solo tracks are great. Like it was, like I said, really fun to see all of them get to kind of play with their different tones and their different styles and stuff, as well as kind of get to showcase that to their fans, to Aroha's. So yeah, I think I like this album, I think a little bit better than their last, because I think this had a little bit more distinctive color. Because I know they play a lot with like space and stuff with their music and stuff. Obviously with the name Astro, you feel like you would. And I feel like this kind of brought that back a little bit, if that makes sense.
I forgot their name is Astro, so it's like really like space element with their name in there.
But it just kind of felt like, that the ethereal, like dreamy kind of thing. Like it just kind of brought it back to like what I feel like their music, like from the little bit I have heard of Astro, this kind of felt more back to form a little bit. I mean, I guess Aroha's can come at me if I'm wrong, but I know this, in my opinion, I feel like it just kind of felt a little bit more what I expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I liked this one. And like, I kind of do want to dig into this stuff because again, I think they're actually a pretty popular 3rd gen group out there. I know when they're a later debuting 3rd gen group. They're like kind of on the precipice, like at the tail end of the 3rd generation. They really do have some good stuff. So I kind of want to try and listen to some more of Astro in the future. I have to now, especially if they're starting to list in the military. I dug this one. I really dug this album. Yeah. Well, let's move on to our next album and our debut of this week. And that again is from from P Nation. And this is the group TNX, which I found out stands for the New Six, actually. That's why they are named TNX.
The new what?
The New Six. So the T, so it's the new six. So it's like new, and then the X from the six. So that's why they're called TNX.
Okay, yeah, I'm like, so doesn't start with the X.
Yeah, I mean, there's really weird naming conventions in K-pop, but they have a very so it's a very interesting way. So TNX came to formation actually originally as a 7-member group off the show Loud, which was a combination show which had both P Nation trainees as well as JYP trainees. I think there's like 75 people on that show, and then kind of got whittled down. And then there were going to be 2 groups that were debuting from that show, one from JYP and one from P Nation. Well, there was a little bit of controversy towards the end of the show because one of the winning members that came under Psy's label under P Nation, Koki Takanaka, who's a Japanese trainee, well, he was 13 when he was part of the winning lineup for the show, because both lineups I think were going to be 7 members apiece. There was a lot of bit of stir in the industry, and a lot of people online were like, isn't he kind of young to be debuting? So eventually they eventually talked, and he pulled out of the group, and he's continuing as a trainee at P Nation. So I think he will debut eventually, because he is an immensely talented.
Yeah, he's like very, very young. We're talking about, like, with the Sserafim, like, are they too young? Like, but
I mean, kid was 13. I was like, yeah, that's a little young to debut. So he's continuing training, but he's very talented. I do see him debuting in the future. Mm-hmm. But he's just a little young to debut right now. So, but as for the other 6 members of TNX, wow, this debut, this is one of the more impressive male debuts I've seen in a while, I feel like.
Yeah.
I put together a really good team here. Like, that's all I have to say. It's a really, really, really good debut. Let's start with let's start with the title track Move itself. Like, they're fully encamping themselves in the noise genre, but like they have a very unique take, I think, in the noise genre.
Yeah, I think it's the like merit with when it comes to Psy. Like, okay, I don't know how involved he is with the production, but you can really tell with the like how the music production really came from under P Nation, because like there is like elements to this the title track as well as other B-sides where you can like like a lot of the like instruments like feel so familiar with like other songs from Jessie or from Dawn. Or from either like Psy, like all the artists from P Nation, like you can tell like the music is like really the essence of it like comes from that house.
Yeah, like you could tell because like they're starting to have like this their own unique style of music at P Nation. Like there's some elements that like you can kind of see, I think, originally from like Psy's, I think, times at YG, and I think you see that a little bit in one of the tracks. I think you see that a little bit in Burst Up, I think. I felt like there's some like levels of like YG-ness in that, and I think that's from like Psy's time. And I wonder if he's I don't know if he's recruited people from YG to work with him at P Nation. Like, I can't unfortunately find like the credits on this to like get my like confirmation, you guys. Like, I would.
But that song Burst Up, you can tell because like they do like the fast breakdown that YG always excels in. At the end of at the end of like their the chorus or like towards the end of the song, like you get like the fast, like they call it the YG. Wait, what did they call it? Oh, lost it. The YG party chorus where they actually have, like, go in a faster, beat of the song, and that's like they pretty much got that down.
Yeah, like that whole entire like kind of like party breakdown where you just want to get up and dance. Like that's like for sure in Burst Up. But like even like the first track on here, We On, like that like bass line and drum loop is it's so sick. Like it's a great introduction, like to get it in, get you ready for this group, because like it's minimalistic in a way, but it's really gets you ready for like what their sound is going to be. Like, you're kind of getting encamped into this like noise genre, but like they have this unique style and swagger to them that really, I think, pushes out. Like you can tell with their sound and their singing and just the swagger from their voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think for me, I think my feedback when it comes to, I think it's because I think it comes to the members, where I don't see like anyone who really like brought like my attention and all that. I think they were just like all uniform in one group, but I like I've yet to see like someone who like really caught my attention or who really like really puts up like an ante for what makes the group like really notable. So hopefully hopefully they get to like hone that in their other under other projects. But yeah, that's probably my personal thing.
Yeah, there's like not like one member like that is immediately grabbing you to be like your like favorite member of the group or like your like bias in the group, right? Currently,
well, not like who I prefer, but like someone who really like really ups like like the scale like, for like it really grabs you sort of way like really grabs the attention that really like increases like the energy for the group. But I still get to see that.
Okay. I can kind of see that a little bit, like, because I guess, I mean, I can see that in a way, but like there is a lot of potential.
Yeah, because like no, if I were to compare, I don't think it's like fair comparison. Like with we're gonna review one of the groups, like one like one member really like puts like the attention, and you're like oh this is interesting. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to get here.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can see that. So, and I wonder if that's just because it's their debut and they just will have to find that to hone that in, like that star element to like really make them stand out.
Yeah.
Because again, it's a debut. So, but there's a lot of fun potential with these guys. Like I really enjoy like this. They might be quickly kind of climbing up my like another group I'm gonna have to follow and
I love their interactions too with their boss Sai, because like when Sai was like promoting his with that with his album, and then you could see like them like going in with the dance challenge or two, like or them being in the being included with the dance challenge and how they're like just dancing with that I like that. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cute to see them with them, and then yeah.
But their dad, it feels like their dad, they're like sides their dad.
Yeah, even their title track move, it really puts me back with Stray Kids District 9, because like the apocalyptic like the noise music or the dystopian noise music really like reminds me of that element with Stray Kids.
Yeah, there's like something kind of like a little industrial to it, not super industrial. There's just tiny like bits of industrial, like there's some nice like loud parts, quiet parts that build up. Like I kind of see some like elements of Stray Kids a little bit in there, but like nothing like I could say like it doesn't sound like they're stealing from Stray Kids. No, but there's some elements in there, and I think that's might be why I'm liking them so much too, because like. Because you know me, I'm a huge stay. So, but I think that's why it's so fun to see that, because like I haven't seen that from a group in a while, kind of play with those like kind of those kinds of beats and stuff in a while.
Mm-hmm. So I was also about to say, really what really makes them different, or really makes like more distinctive, is that they actually diversify with their other songs, that they don't go with like just the noise music from their title move, but they also like delve into other like genres. Like I think my favorite one would be 180 sec, which is more of a funk driven type of music, and then really creates like a uniqueness out of the songs and all that. And I like how they really mix in with other genres. So I really dug that about them.
Yeah. Like I said, I think overall this is an amazing debut. Like this is a strong debut. This is gonna be a very strong debut for 2020 or 2022 here. Really putting them out there on the map. I'm really wishing these guys an immense amount of success, because there's so much amazing potential here for these guys. And I'm excited to see where they go. I know they did name their fandom already. I believe their fandom names is THX. Like, thanks.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
I think
TXX, like the company with the loud ass like the introduction. That
yes.
TXX. Seriously?
I believe that is their fandom name.
Oh
Yeah, I believe
no!
that's what they named their fandom name.
Oh
It's
no!
pronounced as I think as thanks, but
Hey, I know, but it's wait, yeah, like oh no, this is bringing back bad memories. That intro. I hate that shit. Every time I watch my Disney movies.
yeah, it stands for together. It stands for together with TNX. That's why they call themselves THX.
I get it, but now I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be doing something with I'm doing something really stupid with my memes.
Great. Prepare for Jenny and her stupid memes. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna put my folder stupid memes.
Just more stupid memes from Jenny. No, it's all good. But yeah, no, I'm actually I'm excited for this. These guys have so much fun potential. So this will be fun. This will be very, very fun to see them move on. So well, let's move on to our next album, and this is from the 17th as well, because TNX debuted as well as on the 17th.
Yeah,
a lot of
the like two artists that we mentioned like come out on the same day because it was like with Astro and Hyo. Now it's with OneUs and
TNX. Yeah, so they both came out. This was both on the 17th, and this is OneUs' new album, Trickster, with the title track "Bring It On." I know there was some Korean in here too, and I fortunately cannot pronounce the Korean. But I wanted to know what you thought about "Bring It On" before I say something on this one, because I have my thoughts, and I don't know, they might be a little shocking.
I mean, actually, you go ahead because I'm not really interested to see what your
Because I am surprised how much I actually dug it, because it reminded me a bit of No Diggity, but way better than No Diggity. Remember when we reviewed Devil and how much we were like, that was a kind of a mess of an album because it was like all over the place, and how No Diggity kind of was like, it kind of felt like it was curbing off of like a whole bunch of different other K-pop groups and stuff. I felt like Bring It On was kind of finally figuring out like, oh, let's just do our own stuff and actually like curb off our own stuff, because like there's elements in Bring It On that like they actually finally curbed on their own stuff. Like there's like elements, like it feels like there's a bit of the traditional feeling like you see in songs like Lit or Luna, like where they kind of more delve into the traditional Korean side of things. And then there's more aggressive hip hop beats like we saw in Valkyrie or in No Diggity. It combined surprisingly well. Like I kind of really dug it.
Okay, I kind of when you were setting up like, oh, I have something to say about this album. I thought it was like setting up something like like something bad, or like but no, I actually felt the same way. But you know what, that their other song No Diggity was like way in the back of my mind. Like I completely like forgot about that music. Like what they did, but. Yeah, no, yeah. I do agree with you. Now that now that that's brought back into my memory, that I feel like it's a good improvement from from when they try to like attempt to do like they did like a noise type of like noise music for for their category, their catalog, and I even the visuals too with the title of the video, like Bring It On. I don't know where the heck this Rainbow or RBW is getting like their budget, because this is like going on the same level and even the same, I guess, aesthetic as MEM by Purple Kiss.
Right?
Yeah, even like they're like the theme of their music, or like going on for like a more badass take, is like almost like coinciding with each other in a way.
Yeah, they're kind of like both kind of getting to like, because they're both under the same label. They're both under RBW, Purple Kiss, and OneUs. Like they're kind of both like reaching like their bad girl / bad boy eras. Like I know Devil was kind of like supposed to be like a bad boy era for them, but I feel like this is even more of a bad boy era for them than even Devil was.
Yeah, because going into like the really like the fun noise music of of their catalog, and it felt like they're like really connected. Like I'm not saying that they're going to have this kind of like cinematic universe like SM's doing, but it's just feels really like connected with each other in a way.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Purple Kiss because I completely forgot Purple Kiss is under RBW too. I should know because Mamamoo, and Mamamoo is under RBW. But yeah, oh my god, that's interesting. Like I don't know, maybe just weirdly timed out or something. I don't know. Theories.
Yeah, even like they're like when you like even see their notice their music arrangements, like they have like a little like slow parts of their verses, and then they go to like a faster breakdown in like in the post chorus as well. So that's I really like enjoy like that, like so you can pretty much lets you go for a ride. It's very diverse with like like going like a slower pace and then going to a faster like more frantic paces. It's like wow, I'm like really like really dynamic production here.
Yeah, it really like it's a roller coaster of a song. Like there's so much like aggressiveness to it, and then like there's those like moments where like you kind of have like the like almost like pansori type of flutes, but it's not really pansori like type flute, but like kind of like that with the drums and stuff, and then it gets into like the more like noise side of things, and it's this cool amalgamation of things, and it works really well. Also, just to start off the song, I think that's Robin's voice. I think that he has got the deeper voice. Like to start that off, I was just like, okay, hi. Like that like really like catches you off guard, and you're fully in like from moment one into the song. I think it's Robin. I think.
Okay,
I think
it's funny because we have like the English, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if it's Australian or something, but a lot of like the English named members from Felix from Stray Kids to having like a deep ass voice, and now we have Robin and OneUs with like a really deep voice as well. But, okay, that's who I'm like saying like the one who really gets my attention. They gotta have like those members like with a really unique stand from them. So. Yeah, that's like even not just like what he does, like also like his the way he portrays himself or like his persona from the video is really like guttural and all that. Like it's like really aggressive and like gets into your face. It's like that's like type of like visual. Yeah, like and it's just like I mean to start even too like before on the album itself before we get into Bring It On, like the intro track, Who Got the Joker, like that gets you into this album immediately. Like I thought I'm like that could play in a freaking like mafia / gang movie. Like that's just kind of has this like very cool like R&B kind of like sinister vibe to it, and it just really gets you into this like this like bad boy kind of era for OneUs here, which we haven't seen OneUs really go back into a bad boy era in a while, because I feel like Blood Moon was more reflective of like a more sentimental vibe, but this is definitely darker, and I'm here for it. Yeah, and also to say like their B-sides or their other songs from there. Also a great album too that really like coincide or like really relates to like the theme, the overall arching theme of like Trickster. And you can even get that like that essence from like the music production too, because like a lot of them has like a really sinister vibe as well as having a very energetic type of like music. Like my favorite one would be Firebomb, because it can also like I think it really connects with from the title track Bring It On. Yeah, it does. I really like some of these B-sides. Like they really connect well with that whole that whole Trickster kind of like darker. Now I won't say evil, because like you can connotate like Trickster with evil, and I don't think it's fully evil. It's just playing with shades of gray, I guess, if you want to go with that. Yeah, it's like because you can already like tell or already like get the imagination, because this is like a carnival type of like aesthetic setting. So it's like almost like a kind of evil or like a sinister carnival, like the carnival characters. With a lot of like shady, past from them. This is like that kind of like the vibe that I'm imagining. Just the kind of atmosphere you're feeling, right? Yes, yeah. I kind of feel that too a little bit when you get to the track Mr. Wolf, which I really like. Which
God damn it, me with another track that's got Wolf in the title. Hi, it's me. But like, yeah, there's something with that's very, it's kind of gonna get that like, darker, sinister tendency to it too. That's got very darker connotations to it, and I really like this album. This album is really good. Like, OneUs continues to surprise me. Like, sometimes they'll have some like stuff that doesn't like, I'm like, okay, but then they come out with stuff like this that just like, okay, I get it, I understand. Like, I totally understand like why they have such a good fandom. Like, I know they were just on tour here in the States, and I'm kind of disappointed I couldn't get a chance to see them, because I heard they had a pretty good they had a pretty amazing show when they were here in the States. But yeah, this was a really fun album to listen to.
Yeah, and it really goes to show like how RBW really hones well with like a bit of like an R&B flair, and with a lot for their artists. And I think you can kind of have that sense, even though they're going for more like a poppy or like a more hip hop type of like realm, and you can really tell like that soul behind the production of it. Again, like another company that can really tell like with like the music style that they did do.
Yeah, you can kind of see the backbone of like all these different groups under their company head, but each group still has their unique sound and unique flavor to it. And OneUs really, I think, has a pretty unique sound to them. Like when they kind of go back and forth on their title tracks, and we've seen that as of late. So, but this one I really liked. Like, I was quite shocked, and I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy about this one. So thank you for continuing to surprise me, OneUs. Thank you. But with that, let's get to our next one. This actually comes out the following week. We're now into the following week. We're on May 23rd with this release. And this is GOT7's self-titled EP. And like we were saying before, this is their first new EP away from JYP after leaving JYP at the beginning of last year after their contracts had expired.
They're free.
And they were freed from the shackles of JYP.
This is their freedom era.
And there was a lot of talk. There's a lot of, are they going to be together as a group of 7 again? Because they all had signed to different individual companies, all trying to pursue solo work. Obviously, we've seen all of them producing solo stuff. I think outside of Jin Young, I think Jin Young's just been focusing on his acting career. I don't think he's dropped any music, because he's been heavily acting. Like, he's been in a lot of K-dramas and a lot of movies as of late, which I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all, but the man's been busy. I think the other 6 have been working on some solo releases, which we've talked about on the show. But yeah, and so they did sign with, I think it's Warner Music Korea, for them to release their music now individually, independently, basically.
Yeah.
As GOT7. And basically also to note as a very unique situation, because we've seen this happen with other groups who've lost their names and basically the rights to all their music. They still have the right to their name, as well as to their complete back catalog of all their music that they had under JYP. So they still get to have all that music they released the past 7 years under JYP with them, that they can, I think, they can work with. So like, I think if they do concerts and stuff,
which
they can perform it, which they did. They had a fan meetup right before this album dropped. So they were able to perform their old music.
The greatest hits.
So, which is fantastic to hear. So maybe potential of a tour in the future. Who knows? We'll see. Because obviously, we'll see. I know.
Because like to see them like they're still like their bond is like pretty tight, and to see them like accomplish so like or like just like succeed and like taking a lot of their what makes them GOT7 like like their classic hits. It's really such a like a heartwarming situation to see them like return to form, and as well as like celebrate from their past. And it's such a triumphant type of like move, and like so huge props to JB for making this happen and like working so hard to like get the rights for for themselves. It kind of makes me wish It makes me wish like EXO can just like part ways from SM and just be like their own independent thing, because like SM's not doing anything for EXO, like anything
I
like
know.
huge. So I really hope I really hope like they some if members don't want to renew your contracts, but to like have that independent like venue for them.
Yeah. Like, I know it's sad to see like groups like SM kind of still like, or groups not SM, like groups like EXO kind of flounder around with SM because SM hasn't locked into their contract yet. And they, we just saw Lay leave as SM, and therefore kind of, well, he said he's still going to do stuff with EXO, but it's going to be one of those like, outside in things.
Yeah, what's her name? Wien.
Yeah, like Wien with Mamamoo.
Which it did. Like, he was involved with them because I think they were in a concert. In like some like the K-pop flex, and then Wien still was with them. So get to see that she's still part of Mamamoo, even though she went away from the label.
It's kind of interesting to see kind of how things are changing in the industry. Like you can see it because like there's a little bit more artist autonomy now, and like we're seeing that like this is one of the biggest cases of artists Girls' Generation too. Like this is one of the biggest cases of like I think of artist autonomy of one of the bigger groups that we've seen, and like it's showing proof like like this is maybe like where hopefully maybe where things could go, because like they really, like I said, like they have the whole rights to all their music, and that's fantastic. Like they have the rights to their music, they have the rights to their light stick, like they can still have their August light sticks. Like it was a sea of green at that fan meet, and it was beautiful to see. It was so fantastic.
And just I watched some of the clips, and just to see like their rendition and their more mature take of girls their like their first debut song under JYP, that was like that was like such a celebration, and to see them like still got it, like they still have like their acrobatic like choreography. It was like such a sight to see. I'm not the one to cry. Well, I didn't cry. I didn't cry, but I'm just like so hyped. Like, oh my god, they did it! They're doing it.
I know it's such an amazing success story to see with GOT7. So like this is why this album is such an amazing celebration for them. And just for the album itself, like you can tell how much more creative freedom they have and how much more it's them. Like you can totally tell how much they don't have to deal with JYP's their interference with their work, because there's been so many times, and it's been documented by Agassiz, even by the members in general, like how much like they've been have to force change things with songs and stuff. Like the original version, I think, of like Lullaby is like I think that people will say hands down, like the demo version of Lullaby that JB like snuck out to have like Agassiz listen to is much superior to the version we have, and this one we have is good, but the one that he did originally is massively superior.
I know.
And so like I said, it's so nice to see them have so much creative freedom and control over their music now. And you can tell how much happier and how much love they have for this music in just the 7 tracks they released with this one.
Yeah, it's got that GOT7, feel, like like what really like makes them, or like really puts like their identity into the forefront. And because I can like tell like, oh, this is such a classic, like the music that they had there, or that they made, it really brings me back to like the classic GOT7 days.
It does. It really, really does. It brings you back to like the classic like middle of their career. Just kind of like the more like kind of like they have that R&B style with their music. And there's just this great balance too between all 7 of them, especially in the title track, Na Na Na. Like I don't think I've seen a track so balanced between all 7 members in a long time. It is so immensely balanced. Like there's like everybody shines in that track. Like you can tell, like from JB to Jin Young to Bam Bam to Yoongyum to Jackson to Ark to everybody in the group. Like it is to Young Jae, to everybody has a moment to shine in that track.
Yeah, to get for that reason not being under a label, but they like have like a more biased, like more biased like with positions, or like how much runtime each members have. But yeah,
Right.
like, can you imagine if like a lot of like artists or groups are independent, like they actually like have like a fair turn for each member?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everybody could shine. So like it was so nice to see that. And even like Noonas is like it's a sultry R&B that GOT7's so well known for. And it's so fun. And it's just I dug it. Like it's a return to form for them because like after like and as much as I like, Not by the Moon and like, their last stuff, like it wasn't quite GOT7 in a way. You know what I mean?
It did lose their identity as GOT7.
Yeah. And last piece, it kind of starting to kind of lose their identity a little bit because I kind of felt like it was JYP, a lot of JYP influence on that.
Yeah.
But this definitely is like prime GOT7 in my mind. So this just my heart is so much lighter and so much happier for them because you can tell how much they love this, and even the B-sides are so good too.
Yeah.
Like there's so much fun, like a little bit of like retro synthwave in there, a little bit of funk, a little bit, of more R&B, like more sultry R&B in there. Like they really thrive in that, and it's so gorgeous to see. So
yeah, I would say like I love how like you can tell like it's so distinctive of GOT7 because they have like a kind of like sharky produced type of music, as well as like it's very like an airy, has like a very dreamy and airy tone, or like atmosphere, because it feels like you're up in the air, like you're actually like you're a bird, like from their August light stick, and it's very like chill and so lo-fi hip hop, and you can tell by like with Na Na Na, as well as like even Don't Care About Me. I think that's one of my favorite B-sides from them, because it has like a very energetic type of like sound into it, as well as like a very like sentimental drive as well.
Yeah, I think Don't Care About Me is one of my favorite B-sides. It just really has a great groove and bass to it.
Even like the rap and vocals, there's like this, it really harmonized well together, like in this one perfect melody.
Yeah, the flow on that is super, super good. So it's solid. I'm so happy. This comeback made me so, so happy. I was so looking forward to this one. And it's just, it's everything.
They pulled it off. They hit the mark in there. Also, my other, like I want to mention my other favorite track would be "Drive Me to the Moon." It really brings me back to You Calling My Name, like that kind of, I guess, tempo and beat. Yeah, I really love that, and it's so I think it's more superior track than Not by the Moon.
I agree with that. I really agree with that. So, like I said, you can tell this is definitely has their fingerprints all over it, and it's a passion project, and it's something they love, and August days are so happy.
Yeah, I really hope they do well in the like charting wise, or like I don't know how they're, I guess they're doing in the when it comes to like the the sales and all of that. But I hope I really hope it goes well for them.
Yeah, well, I know they're not up for music show wins yet because it just came out this week. By the time we're recording this, I think by the time it gets out, we'll hopefully know. But I think honestly, this is gonna be. I'm hoping this gets a really, really successful run because it's so good. It's such a good EP. It really is. I haven't heard where it's charted yet. I don't think the charting data has come out yet. So, but because it's still pretty new, but we'll see where it charts next week. But with that, we're getting close to the end of our episode. We still have 2 more albums to review. Our next one is a release from 524. Excuse me. This is Kang Daniel, and this is his new full album, The Story, with the title track Upside Down. And I think this is his his second full album, I think, after his Colors era. So this is like a brand new era, I think, for Kang Daniel, after we just kind of got done with his like Colors trilogy. And I mean, I really do dig Kang Daniel's style. like he's always got this very unique R&B to him. We've had a lot of R&B this week, I've noticed.
Yeah, and also like a very soulful, like it really helps with like his vocals. It's like produce and it creates such a like a soulful mood that it even goes into like a more like a darker type of like themes with his, like how you saw in his like his Colors era. Yeah, that's what I was pretty much expecting, or to see him like I guess continue on. But I like that he has like a more different take into his the concept, but you can still have like that still you can still see that really soulful aspect still remain in this music.
Yeah. Like there's still like this level of sexiness to it, but it's not as darker as his Colors era was, because there was some darker stuff definitely in his Colors era, like Paranoia. Like Paranoia, I think, is one of his darker songs, Paranoia, and I love Paranoia.
And Antidote, and like what was the other one before that? Like I forgot. Like, My Name or something, or I don't know, something with name in the title.
I'm not sure which one you're thinking. Maybe Who Are You? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Who Are You?
Or
yeah,
who you are. Yeah, who you are. Yeah,
who you are.
Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah, like I said, his stuff from his Colors era was super, super good. But yeah, this is his first full album completely. So like this is because the Colors stuff was all EPs. So we're now onto his like first full album, and this really is like a story, because it really is kind of like an amalgamation thing of everything he's had up until now in his career, from his days being in 101 through like the post stuff, and like all his solo career and stuff now, because he's had such a very insane career. But like the track Upside Down, like I really, really like it. It's another perfect like R&B summertime song. Like it's this really cool juxtaposition, because like it's like this very summery R&B song. Like it's kind of smooth and sultry, but the juxtaposition of the lyrics, like living in the upside down, like really like it puts you on edge. Like I said, playing with those darker ideals that he's so good at.
Yeah, I think it's really what I guess puts his identity as an artist, because he really delves into like the darker elements of like life really well. And yeah, it's funny because like the titles are called Upside Down, really goes online with Stranger Things premiering their 4th season.
Right, I know. It kind of fits, since Stranger Things season 4 just came out. So, it's like nice timing, sir. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's this kind of interesting. He's really good with a juxtaposition. I love when like artists play with that duality, when you like the music sounds one way, but then you look at the lyrics and the lyrics are completely different than what you're expecting.
Yeah, you know what? Like the vibe that it's giving me with the music video, it totally reminds me of Bacon's Candy. The similar aesthetic, like a neon type of like lighting, as well as how he dresses and how he has like backup dancers with him.
But yeah, with the background, because like it's you see my Candy with it's like kind of like sweet and like the brightness again, because like I said, I was saying summery. But yeah, then like the weird darker tinges to it.
Yeah, also like they both have like have a soulful and R&B type of style with their songs, and it really kind of has like the similarities with each other.
Yeah, no, I mean we know Baekhyun is like also thrives so well in that R&B, so these two I think complement each other with the R&B styles super well, and I enjoy that. And yeah, I don't know. I really like this song. Like, Kang Daniel always is like one of those like solo artists. Like, he always pops up on my feed, and I'm like, I forget how much I really like him. You know what I mean? Like, he's got some good stuff, and he always brings some really good stuff to the table. So, but I was gonna see what you think about some of the B-sides on the story, and what you thought.
Well, first off, like in the music video from Upside Down, he really popped up with that breakdown. Did you see that? That was like when I first watched it, like, holy shit.
I did. I wasn't sure if I should mention that or not because I was like, potentially triggering.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's like it came out of, well, almost came out of nowhere. And then when they saw like on the ground and like just break down, they go, damn, like go off, man. But
It's like I forget how good of a dancer he is, but damn, he's a good dancer.
I was like so shook. I was like shook. I was like, damn, man. We've never seen that with other like other artists or idols. Like just go off and break dance.
Just completely lay it on the floor, and he did. I was like,
yeah,
wow,
man. But my favorite beat tracks was, I have two. One is for Parade because it has like that really like the childlike you hear from the music box rap, like those childlike type of elements, but like mixing with the foreboding tone in it, like makes it like so eerie and it's so like sinister. And it feels like I'm going into like a cursed forest when I'm listening to it.
Ooh, okay, I can see that. I can totally see that.
And my other one, like I don't know if this is gonna be like your favorite as well, but Don't Tell featuring Jessie.
Oh no, I seriously, I have both of those on my favorite list.
yeah. So like, it has like that Latin pop, like acoustic guitar arrangement, and it really goes well with Jesse's style as well, and even like his voice really harmonizes well with Jesse's rap and vocals, and like they really like utilize Jesse really well in here.
Jesse really complimented him really well. Like, it's not like, because like it's still Jesse's style. Like she kind of been more a little sing-songy with her rap, which I forget how well she can sing as well as she can rap, which I should know from her solo work. But yeah, her feature on this track on Don't Tell is really really good. Like she's kind of got this more melodic rap to it, and it's a very fun Latin flair. Again, another really good summer song, I think. And yeah, their voices very much complement one another, and it creates a really poppin' track.
Yeah, I know Jessie has done like some kind of like music that's like is similar to like Kang Daniel's track here. Yeah, who was the other song? Like she was in the beach and all that. Like was it in Deep? What's the name of the song? But like the music video has her in a beach, and like that song really reminds me of like this one from Kang Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't think of. I think I'm trying to remember which one. I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
It's like Deep or something, but something like that.
But yeah, like when going back to Parade, like I really like Parade. Yeah, there was something dark to it. Like I felt like something like lurking in the shadows to that song, like something just creeping on the outside of your peripheral, looking at when you listen to that song. It's really kind of cool the way like the music kind of gives you that visual.
Yeah, so I was actually mind. Down is like the song from Jessie.
Okay,
yeah,
that's what it is. I was like, I couldn't think of the song, but that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah,
off the top of my head. But yeah, no, Kang Daniel's really got one. It's like, I think is successful. He's such a successful solo artist. Like I know there's a lot of hate because of his like post 101 career and how things went down with his old agency and stuff, but. I don't think it's warranted, honestly, because I think his old agency really did shaft him. And him kind of going out on his own has been really beneficial for his career because he's produced some really great stuff. And this album is really good because I feel like this is definitely like an amalgamation of everything we've seen for him up to now, and this is really, really good stuff from him. Through and through. So this is really good. This is another really cool summary album, and yeah, it really does tell a story. So I say take a listen to it. But with that, let's go off to our final album of the week, and that is 17's fourth album, Face the Sun, with the title track Hot. And this came out on the 27th of May here. Had Friday release for them because apparently that's all Hybe wants to do now is Friday releases. Man, holy cow, them coming out with the title track Hot here. I mean, it is hot. And I mean literally hot.
It is like it is like going with like the hot girl summer, or hot boy summer, any hot like people summer. And
yeah,
this
hot
like
people summer.
Track to start this off.
Yeah, it's truly a hot people summer now. This is this could be an anthem to hot people summer. We're gonna be not gender exclusive here. So all genders welcome. So hot people summer. But yeah, it is like, I want to know what spaghetti western we're getting ourselves into with like the visuals and the music video.
Right. And also, like, is this a continuation from Hive, like going in more of like a rock type of like, like sound as well? Because they really, they really hone well, or they really like utilize like the guitar instrumentals from like, Tomorrow by Together, some Good Boy Gone Bad, and now like the more western feel with Hot for 17.
Yeah. I mean, it still has those 17 elements. Like, you could definitely tell, like, 17 has their hands all over this. I mean, they're very self-produced, obviously, with Woozy and, their main producer, Bumzu, in the studio, doing a lot of the work. And, like, it has that 17 style and flair all over it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like, I feel like this is one that really, it really utilized all of them very well. Like, they all stand out and show up in this one. Like, I couldn't like help them like looking at all of them in the music video, and like my eye was just going everywhere because like I feel like everyone was like showing up and like standing out.
Yeah.
In this song.
It's kind of funny because I was like when I was listening to music, I was also scrolling down some Oscar Isaac thirst posts. It really went well with like that really like seductive element.
I could see that. I could totally see that.
I don't know, me like surfing down the web for Oscar Isaac. It was amazing.
Not me. Look at Oscar Isaac thirst posts on Facebook or Twitter.
Hot.
I'm talking about hot. Yes, exactly. I mean, it's kind of funny that the album itself starts off with Darling, because Darling is so opposite from Hot, which is crazy because that's what we got for the pre-release, and it's very. Which also, I'm kind of like looking back to like trying to remember back to Darling, and like, is that like the pre-apocalypse? Because like the music video is very post-apocalyptic, honestly, in a way too. So I'm like.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering, because like some of the stuff in there, I don't know, really fits. I probably need to listen to it again, but I don't know how like well it fits with like with the overarching like theme of like Face the Sun, like that you have like a more apocalyptic element into it, or even like a bit of like a western type of sound, because how like Hot has like that really like guitar like twang like at the back.
Yeah,
I thought they would kind of like continue that with like some of their other songs, but it's like a mix. It's like a jarring mix between like the Darling type of like era and like their Hot era. So
it's quite. It was quite interesting, like to go from that juxtaposition from like Darling, how sweet and sentimental that was, to what we got with Hot. Like, it was just like, whoa, whiplash. Hi, okay, cool. This is where we're at now. Hi. But I mean, I should expect less from 17. They tend to do this to me, so welcome. Thanks, Carrots. Thanks for the warning. But yeah, I don't know. It was fun. It's a fun kick-ass, like, I don't know. It's just very, I don't know. The whole music video was giving me very post-apocalyptic vibes. Bad boy post-apocalyptic spaghetti western vibes in a way. So yeah, it was fun. It was very fun.
Oh no, like what I think about the other songs, is that what you're gonna ask? Yeah, I think because for me, I was like preferably or personally expecting more of like that element when that like atmosphere for their other songs. So my favorite, because like the songs that are considered my favorite really like connects well, or relates with the theme of like that Face the Sun type of a narrative. So like the other tracks that I included here was March, because March has like a very like a similar it's like a bit of a different genre, but it really goes well with like the action and like the energy they put for with Hot. So it's more like a 2000s type of alt rock, even a bit of power pop with the song. And then I would jump to like their last song, which is Ash, which feels like a really good conclusion with like what story that they're trying to portray here. It has like a very like a Middle Eastern type of like sound or instrumental what they had here. and it really fits well with like what they're trying to say with their album.
Yeah. I have to say one of my standout tracks is Don Quixote. Which comes after hot, like that track's filthy. That's just straight filth right there.
Yeah, also like another, Western, like classic reference here.
Yeah, like I don't. There's been a lot of Don Quixote references lately in Korea, and I don't know why.
Why?
But there have been.
Because they finally like read the novel. They finally like published that story in there.
I have no idea. I don't know what's going on over there in Korea sometimes. I question sometimes why things trend over there when they do, but they do. But that is a filthy track. Like it goes on, continues on like the kind of more Western styles we see in Hot, but it's filthy. Ooh, it's good. I also liked Shadow. Like there's something kind of cool with the duality in that. Like there's a little futuristic, like when it starts, and then when it starts with that rhythm guitar and the pre-chorus, like that just takes it to a whole nother level. And I really, really, really like that as well. Like that really, that's kind of one of my favorite things is when 17 like just kind of like breaks up that instrumentation. I really like it when they do that. And then I liked If You Leave Me, which is a bit of a slower track. I know you're not too big on the ballads, but this was just really nice because it was just straight basically letting them focus on their vocals, and they have such strong vocals in this group. Yeah, so like it's just the piano and them and their voices, and it's a showcase of their immense and amazing vocals. So yeah, this was really good. Like I know I said Attica was I think like a return to form. Like this is I think even better than Attica.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I think like it's getting better and better. And it was actually announced, I think this one pre-sold like 2 million for them. Like nice. This was a huge pre-sale. Of course, they had like 5 versions of this one. Hi, but what are you doing? But there's like 5 versions, and then there's like the individual like solo member version. So it's like you get 1 out of 13, and it's like, oh Jesus. Solo stands high. And I'm not gonna lie, it's like all 5 versions looked amazing with the photo spreads, but I'm like, I have to save up for other albums right now. So like, I'm like trying to like limit my album intake right now because of concerts and other stuff going on. So I'm like, I'm like, I can't, but I know I'm trying to get my hands on a couple versions of this album. So we'll wait and see on that. But those are the reviews for this week. We did it for our 50th episode.
Hooray!
Hooray! I know nothing really special like we're doing for the 50th episode. We're not doing anything like cool, special, fun for the 50th episode. Just kind of snuck up on us, I felt like, with like the way life has been. But yeah, we've made it to 50 episodes, Jenny. Again, it's an amazing milestone for us. And hopefully we'll be here for another 50 more.
Yep.
So, but yeah, we still have, there's a lot of music coming down the pipeline before obviously BTS comes out with Proof, which we have not been, watching the concept photos for that coming out the last couple days. Ginny and I. But yeah, we have comebacks. I know coming up on our next episode of NCT Dreams repackaged. We have Viction. I'm trying to think what else is coming out before BTS, because I think we'll probably record before BTS drops their new album. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends on how much is coming out, because I felt like everyone kind of dropped everything here in May and then is like, crap, BTS. We're gonna leave them alone. Except there's some people who are still being a little brave around them.
They're brave. no, but I commend them like for still having a June comeback. Yeah. And like I never know
Me
BTS.
too. I ain't scared of no BTS. We'll see what happens. Well, I mean, again, like it's interesting because it's just like I said, an anthology, but there is a new title track from that anthology at least. So we'll see what happens.
New songs, but yeah.
But yeah, no, that should be fun to happen here soon. But also, who knows what else will happen? We'll see if anything else happens with this whole bullying allegation. Anything else comes forward with that? We'll keep you guys posted. Because like I said, it's a mess. But yeah, it is been very interesting a couple weeks here in K-pop, but what else is there to say about that? But I guess before we go, let's go ahead and plug our stuff. Jenny, go ahead, plug your stuff away.
Yeah, so you can find me at Ginny Liano on Facebook. So that's GINNYLEANO. Check out some of my design stuff at Ginny Liano Designs on Facebook, Instagram at Ginny Designs, and hopefully you'll get to see my other personal pages from the link stuff down below. Back to you, Jenny.
And you can find me, Jenny. You can find me over on Facebook, facebook.com/Jenny Matasek. That's Jenny with an I, Matasek. You can also find me over on Twitter and on Instagram at Chaos Bulldog. You can also find the show pages for the Noonas podcast over on Twitter and on Instagram at Noonas_podcast. Don't forget the underscore. You can also find the SoundCloud version of our show over on SoundCloud. It is the audio only version of our show, soundcloud.com/Noonas podcast. Otherwise, you can check out the video form of our show over on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search out the Noonas podcast. Make sure to click like, comment, and subscribe to our pages. So you can not miss out on a new episode whenever we post them, because I've been erratic on posting new episodes as of late. But I promise to have this one up quicker than the last episode because I'm going on vacation. But yeah, no, it's been another episode of the Noonas podcast. I don't know. I've been more excited currently with Japanese releases to them than also with some K-pop releases, but that's besides the point. So it's been a very whirlwind couple weeks here in K-pop, but it's been fun.
Yeah, and I hope you have fun in your vacation. All the best to you and Cedric.
Thank you. Yeah, no, me and the boyfriend are going, and he's already mandated that I cannot listen to K-pop on the way out on vacation because it's his birthday, and he has therefore decreed we're not listening to K-pop on the way out.
Okay. Wow. All right.
No, it's okay. It's because he's mad because every time I'm in the car, somehow every time I'm up, somehow ATEEZ's Deja Vu or Turbulence comes on, and he's sick of listening to those songs. I swear it's not me. It's the algorithm on Spotify. It keeps popping it up. It's not me. I'm not intentionally playing it. It's just the freaking algorithm. I did throw him actually the new Japanese song that ATEEZ dropped, and he's like, okay, that's a bop. I'm like, yeah, I told you they have bops. Now shut up. No, I'm kidding. So, but no, I won't try to drive him too nuts with K-pop over the week. We'll see.
I gotta do something because my sister's not here anymore. So I'm just gotta do something because hopefully I can work out because the song is really nice and all that. So I gotta do something.
You'll figure it out. But I guess with that, we'll sign off with a resounding fighting.